Flowing with TC Details. In this video, I'm going to help you bring it all together. You're probably wondering, what is he talking about? I have seen in the last 4 or 5 years where people ask website questions, how to build a website, or they spend an asinine of money starting their business and then paying for a web developer to make their site. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to do that end to end. Not only that, in this video, I'm also going to teach you how to integrate your CRM. I'm going to use mine that I use personally, but you can use whatever you want. Just follow these steps into your website to give you that end-to-end experience. So when a user goes to your website, you can then click request, pull it in, and it gets sent to your app or the site of your choice. The goal of this project was to teach you how to do it all yourself. There's a lot of people who are older, younger, and don't have the technical chops to do that. So they feel like they have to spend $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. But I want to help you save money because you could do it yourself. When you get to the point in your business where you're growing and you feel like you've made it, at that point in time, I would take the efforts over to Detail Roadmap. Chris does a great job and he's phenomenal at what he does. And I'll put their links in the description below. But for you starting out, you do not need, he even said it in one of the podcasts I did with Jamie back in the day, you do not need their services starting out. You need to presence. You need to make sure your presence are well known online. And this video is going to show you that and how to bring your presence online. Background history about myself. Detailing is a passion of mine that I turned into a business in 2018. I've been in business ever since. Before that, I used to detail with my father, but my main career was I was a director of IT, assistant vice president of a company out in California. I did that for a long time, and I've been in IT space for 17 years, and I did everything from front-end engineering, back-end engineering, to mobile development, things of that nature. And I also got certified in UX architecture. So for those of you wondering my credentials, that's where it's at. It's not a flex. I just want you to know I'm very qualified to teach this course. Let's get started. I am going to put all of the time frames or blocks down in the description below so you can follow how to build the website. I'll break that up. You're going to follow how to integrate, set up Jobber. I'm going to show you how to do that step by step for all your new people so you're not confused as to what am I doing, how am I doing this. Buckle in. Remember, everything, I'm saying this again so you know, everything that I'm using in this site, links in the description below. The cost to start your website is going to cost you less than $300. Let's get started. All right, everyone, welcome to this lesson. Now, like I said, everything that I'm going to use in this video in the comments below, also chapters. Chapter 1 is setup. We're going to set up a few things, go over some basic topics. Then we're going to get into chapter 2, which is basics of web design. Chapter 3 is putting it all together. And that's the goal of this video, is to teach you how to build your website so you're not confronted with having to pay X amount of dollars, but it also allows you to build it now tied to your Google My Business, etc., etc. Let's go over what domain is first, right? If I type in EC Details here, that is my domain. Think about it as an address for your house. It takes me somewhere. What hosting is, think about your house. It has you in it. Those are what keeps your files and all that jazz. So you're going to need those two things before you get started. Where I like to buy mine was Google Domains, but they switched to Squarespace, but you can use Squarespace, GoDaddy, whichever one you prefer, or you could wait for the next step and I'll walk you through how to do it from where the hosting is. So the hosting that I like to use is SiteGround. SiteGround I've been using for a very long time. I've used HostGator. I've used many others. I've created containers, right? This is nerding out. What I like about SiteGround is easy to use, easy to set up, and everything is built in kind of. So I'm going to walk you through hosting here and what the cost is. So when you go to hosting and you go to the cost here, there's 3 types of costing. We have to be very mindful of this when you're starting out because they allow you to start out with little money, but then the year renewal is where it's going to get you, right? So I'll give you a prime example. I think right here is $2.90, which the majority would pay the upfront cost. I think right now $2.99 times 12, it's going to give you, where's my calculator? Lord. Sorry about that. So you get $2.99 times 12. It's going to cost you, what, $40 for this? But when the year is over, note that your year expensive, which you're going to have to budget for, is going to be closer to $215. Now, the difference between startup and grow, big grow is it's and I'll show you in the back end, is if you intend to have more than one website. So say you have a friend You get good enough at this and you want to build his site and host it, they could pay you per month, etc. This allows you to have a little more leeway, more bandwidth. You get a free domain with it, free SSL, you get everything here, right? Also, the caching levels of this and enhanced security is pretty nuts. And then you get the free site migrator. You get these things all the time and on-demand backup. But it's $4.99 now, and you pay that per the 12 months. You're looking at a cost of $59. But after that, it's going to go to $29.99 if you pay for the whole year, or $34 if you don't. And that's going to go raise your price to $359 after the first year. Be mindful of that. Cool thing about this is if you select this plan here at SiteGround, you can also buy your domain. So you can start it here. I always buy 24 months in advance. That way I'm locked into this price, etc. And then during this time, I would then buy the hosting. This is what I use. Everything's built into it. When you get signed up for this, or you go to manage domains, you get signed up for this, you can actually add a domain to your personal account, and that allows you to do it. So once you get logged in and you sign up for this, you're going to be greeted with this page here. And you're going to see website, services, billing, referrals, marketplace, right? You'll go to websites, you'll go to new website. And this new website is what I was telling you. That is pretty cool because you can select your domain here. And then what you do is you'll find a domain and buy it. Since I already have it, I'm already set up. Once you do a new website, it would have all these things here. Now let's talk about a few things. If you're going to go outside of web hosting, right? So I'm going to build a site, and I have another site that I want to bring on here for the sake of this existing domain. I have fake detailer. I think I have fakedetailers.com. Which one is it? I'm going to put fakedetailers.com is the hosting I have. I'm only showing you for brevity of learning. So I'm going to create a new site here. And I'm going to take my current domain, which is fakedetailers.com, which I have with another platform. I am going to go and hit continue. There's a couple steps I have to do, right? I could migrate my site since I have a new one, or start a new site. So I always start a new site, and this is me walking you through this process. I always start with select WordPress because I intend to create my own type of ordeal here, and we are building a WordPress site. And at the bottom of this, you're going to see set up a login. I'm going to put my email here, and you're probably wondering what password are you using, Eddie? And I'm going to tell you. Don't you wish you knew, huh? No, I'm joking. Hit continue. Skip all this BS. No thank you. No thanks. No thanks. Do not add anything. You don't need this crap. And then finish. What it's going to do is a couple things. So when you're getting your domain from, like, say, Squarespace, or you're getting it from GoDaddy, it's going to create your site. This takes about 2 minutes. And then you're going to have to connect your domain to your hosting. These are the setup steps. Remember, we're getting everything ready so we could dive into it and setting it up. So when you go back to your domain, if you click on this here, you have what's called a DNS. DNS is going to give you a few things on the left side. Every platform is the same. You'll have domain name servers, etc. It'll show you this. You're going to have to find that in your listings. I showed you how to get it here because when my site is finished, it's going to give me this page. You're going to take these two right here. You're going to hit copy. You're going to go back to your Squarespace or whatever you have. Use custom name servers. And then verify. You got to verify my freaking email. And what you do is you'll type each one in. So remember, back here, they gave you 2 domains to point your domains. So these are name servers. You're going to just copy and paste those. Take it back over, and they don't go on one line. You got to separate them. Okay, they're usually the same but have 1 and a 2, and then hit save. Once it saves, you hit continue, and then what it does in the back end is it connects your address to your house, your domain. So once that's done, you should be good to go. So I just taught you how to connect your domain to your hosting outside of SiteGround. You'll see here when I load this and I go to site tools, it typically, depending on how fast that is, takes about 15-20 minutes. You'll see this right here, which is your backend. You'll see domains, you'll see park domains, redirects, whatever. You don't worry about any of this here. You go to WordPress. WordPress is already installed. If you go to my accounts, You're going to see all the websites that you have. Remember, I have a different plan here because I build sites for other people, but you can see fake detailers is connected. If I click here, it'll take me to the WordPress admin, and voila, start now. So this is the wizard that they give you. So SiteGround gives you a wizard where it does a lot of this stuff for you, and we'll continue our setup process. So now we finished what a domain is. We finished getting your hosting. We connected your hosting if it's outside of SiteGround, and then you'll just start now. And then this is easy to do. I typically pick what type of website is it? I'll probably skip other, select other, proceed. You could do all this. This is good to note. The reason I tell people to take a step here is because you could actually get a fancy design for us. But for me, I'm going to exit this because it's going to cost you money that you don't want to spend. When you get to that step, just exit it, or you can follow the prompts if you want to do it. Now, we're going to park this here. We're not going to talk about WordPress for a second. We're going to go to our next step of things that we need to get. So we set up SiteGround. We set up the hosting. We pointed the hosting to SiteGround. We have the WordPress instance installed. Now we have to decide what builder we're going to use. For this project, I suggest Elementor. Elementor has a free plugin, or I pay for the actual advanced solo plan where I get a bunch more widgets, things of that nature. The reason I use Elementor is because it's a lot easier, and I'll show you what I mean by that. So you could do Elementor for free, or you could pay for this. It's not suggesting that you pay for it. I'm just telling you we're going to use Elementor. How you install that to your WordPress instance in the back end of your WordPress site here, you're going to go to the left-hand side where it says plugins. You're going to do a few things here. You're going to add a plugin. On the right-hand side here in search, type in Elementor. Elementor is going to pull up. You're going to see this piece right here. You're going to hit install now. That's the only one you're going to need. I am going to activate it, and boom, it's just going to do this. So you could do the startup if you want. I already have an instance here, but we'll start this mug up. And I already have an account with Elementor. It's going to ask you for like create your account stuff, things of that nature. I'm going to connect my current Elementor to this, which I already have a paid instance of. And then right here it says choose the right theme for you. So it gives you a little bit of theme options. Half of these are free. I personally use the Hello theme because it comes with it. It's real easy to use. I do not use the Biz one. It's a little more complex. And this is going to finish the rest of the startup phase for you here. Elevate your website by additional features. I already have this here. I got a theme builder. I have all that. Skip all this. Skip this because we're going to do it from scratch. It's not hard. It's going to bring all this up here, and you hit skip. And there's a few setup steps that we have to do. So when you get to the WordPress site, you'll be greeted with this, and you're like, I'm confused. Don't get worried. We're not there yet. You're going to go to the E, hit exit to WordPress. It's going to take you to WordPress itself, and you're going to go again here on the W to take you home. So what we did was we installed the Hello theme, and then in order to use it, you need to go to Appearance, Themes, and then make sure you go here. It's active, so we know it's active. Make sure you go to your plugins, install plugins. Make sure that this is active. I am going to add another plugin because I have the paid version. And just so you are aware, in order for that to work, you would have to buy the paid version, download it from Elementor. I am going to install my plugin here. You don't have to do this if you're not going to pay for the pro version. And then I'm going to activate my plugin because I'm using the pro version. And then I'm going to connect and activate my account. And it's super easy. Now, fakedetailers.com is activated. Great. Now, before we touch this, we have to finish setting up everything else. I'm going to go over. There's going to be a link in the description below. I'll pull it up here. And you're going to be greeted with this page here. You're going to set up for a free instance of Jobber. It doesn't require a credit card because I'm going to teach you how to connect Jobber, how to set it up right now in the next step. Okay. When you do this part, Jobber is going to create and take you to a home screen that yours will be just like this, but blank. And then you're going to see everything. You're going to be so confused. But I'm going to teach you how to set it up. On the right hand side, where this gear is, you're going to click on this. You're going to go to settings. Settings is going to take you to this page, and this is where you're going to spend most of your time on right now. Is take the next 4 or 5 minutes to update all this, your address, your phone number, whatever. Also, where you're at, your first day of the week, set it all that up. You're going to go to your business profile. You're going to set this mug up as well. And you're going to go through each one, set it up, and AI will write this for you. And then on this section where it says brand assets, so you can see how they get your stuff. You make sure you have your logo that you intend to use, what your brand color is going to be. And I always add my Google profile here or business profile here and my Facebook. So this profile here allows them to see my stuff, also allows them to link to my page for a review. Next one is products and services. Remember, you can stop this video anytime. So if I'm going too fast for you, just note I'm only doing this as an overview because it's very simple, but I'm walking you through the stuff that I use that we're going to set up. You add all your items here. These are all the packages I offer. And then you just put a description. So to give you an overview of what this looks like, I put it here. I don't put a price because when they call me or I get a quote, I put the price based off of the car and the services that I'm doing. So add all your services here. And then once you're done with that, you're going to go to the next step, which is custom fields. This is interesting because this fields is what we're going to be adding to our form that we're going to use. So I would add custom fields, and how you do that is you click on this button here and you click on create a field. So a name of the field will be, for example, make, and you can put make. You can say it's a text field because it's not a number. You can say value. Don't need to add a default value. Create custom field, and then you're done. I created 3 because this is what I use for my form that we're going to create. And then when you're done with that, you want to go to Jobber payments, and then you want to set up your Jobber payment so you can get payments on Jobber, and you can do tap to pay. Note to you, it's using Stripe. There is no $10 fee, nor there's a connection fee. All that's part of it, and it's as expensive as everybody else. So you're not getting raped or you're not getting taken advantage of. Expense tracking, if you intend to record your expenses for your accounting purposes, all that works here as well. And then automations is what I have set up here. Is these come out of the box with Jobber. And then I'm going to take a second right now and say that this video is sponsored by Jobber, and this is how I'm able to get you 20% off of this program if you do stick with it. No, everything I'm teaching you in this course can be used. I'm going to put the links here. You save 20% off for your first 6 months in the program, and you get to use all the benefits and tools that we're using. So shout out to Jobber for allowing us to have that for you. And back to this, automations automatically set up, and I have it set up for when I send a quote, follow up, when quote gets active or archive if they don't get back to me. Then invoice, I send a follow-up, 3-day follow-up, but I require my money to be paid up front. And then I auto archive request after X days. If you have teams, you may add teams here and give them a login so they can use the app. It's just me. Your schedule could also be posted here so it could sync to your appointment, but you can also select how you want it to look. You can do stacked, etc. You have location services. If you are tracking time for your people and they're driving in a mobile detailing space, you can connect this. Do route optimization. You can turn this feature on so when you're going house to house to house for mobile detailers, this could do that for you. And then this is a special one, so pay attention to this section. And again, we're just doing the setup. I created a before checklist that I auto attached to all my quotes. This checklist gives me the following: before the contact wash, my walk around, after the contact wash, and these are photos, exterior photos, interior photos, and then after. So when the customer comes back, I'm not getting taken to the cleaner. So my suggestion for you, my friends, is create a new form. And if you have a form where you do a walkthrough with your customer, or you do a walkthrough after, or you take before and after photos, this is where you want to do that. And all you have to do is go to add section, and I put here before contact wash, and then you add a question. And then for me, I like images, and the images for this section is going to be, when you click on it, it'll pull up this box. I'm going to say interior, and then I would create a name for a job form, new form, or before form, and then bam. This will automatically give you 10 photos that you get on your app. You can upload it. It does it automatically. And you just add another one. I like to look at, like, for example, um, go here, add another image form, and I go walk through a customer if you want. So make a form custom to your needs, etc. And that's what you're going to do. And after you do that, we're going to get to the nitty gritty of what I'm looking for and what you need. You have Jobber gives you client hubs for free as part of the application. So make sure these are turned on. Your client or your customer will always see the hub for what was done, what appointments were done, what invoices they paid. They get all that for free. So they never have to come back to you and ask you what has been done. Set up your email and text. I do that all directly to Jobber for my needs. So customers don't email me or call me directly. My phone blows up. But I also have a dedicated number where I receive text messages and stuff. All that you have to do on your end on this program. So you just click on it, it does it automatically. It takes about a week, and then you have it. And then this is where we're at. So I don't do online booking. You can. There's options. I do what's called a request form. I'm going to walk you through what that means. So I have a new form that I created. Now, if we look at this untitled form here, this is a form that I created, and how you edit it is you have two options. You click on edit, you click on preview. Preview shows you what the form looks like that your customer is going to see. Edit's going to allow you to add fields. All this is in custom made, already done. What I added for mine were this field here. So when the user sees it, they can select multiple. So are you coming for a full detail, exterior, etc.? What type of interior? I always ask that. And then make, model, and year. That's all I need from my perspective. And then to create those on the right-hand side, you could do this right here where it says drop down. You just drag it over and you can add to your form. It's very simple to create your custom form and use it. Create your custom form. And then what we're going to do, and the goal of this video, is when we build the site, your customer is going to go to this on your site. You gather data. Data turns into conversions. Conversions turn into money. So let me go back to my Jobber here. Now, if you're one of those that you just want to take bookings online, that's another beast. Simple. Just click on bookings. And then what you'll do for your bookings is you have to, at the bottom, add your services. So if you do this, make sure that you had money to it. You'll have to add it for sizes, right? So you either tell your customer, hey, for your size of the car, I have to increase the price, etc. But add it for size, large vehicles, small vehicles, etc. And it makes it online, easy to use booking that you could tie to your site. The same steps I'm teaching you here, you could use. So that is Jobber connected. One last thing you have to do on Jobber before you move on is go to apps on the left-hand side. You're going to type in WordPress here. You're going to grab, you see this link right here? You're going to click on that. It's going to take you to this page here. And all you have to do is hit learn more, new page, hit download. We need that plugin. It's going to zip it. Bam. That's all you do. You close the window. You're done setting up Jobber. Go back to your website. That plugin that you and I just downloaded, you're going to go to plugins. You're going to go to add plugin. I am going to upload the plugin here. And that plugin for Jobber, I'm going to drag it here, install now, and I'm going to activate it. What that allows me to do is connect to my Jobber account, and it's going to make it easy peasy going forward. And that right now, we have finished the following. We set up the SiteGround. We set up Jobber. We picked the builder. We installed the WordPress plugin. Now we're going to set up your theme. All right, so let's walk over. Let's do the overview here of WordPress. WordPress is man, they used to call it like a CRM, or it's a way you used to blog, and it's easy. It's an easy tool to get your site up there. I build 90% of my sites in WordPress. The rest I build in React. The reason I use WordPress for you all and myself is because it makes it a lot simpler to understand. So let's go over the side stuff, and let's go over a quick overview of what WordPress is so you get a better understanding. Dashboard is always going to show you this. It's going to show you any updates available. It's going to show you if there's been any hacks here. It'll let you see your site. It's a very simple front page, right? You have home. The home is the same thing. When you go to updates, updates will always tell you what new updates you have. Take a note here, and I want to put an asterisk. Do not update WordPress or plugins unless you make a backup, or do not update it, because if there's a big update for like Elementor and you don't fix it on your end, you can actually brick your site. So you got to be careful with the updates, okay? And then you have Elementor, which we did. This is our our building blocks per se. It's our editor. You have a quick things here. You could do settings, right? Settings allows you to integrate. Say you want to do a reCAPTCHA and you're going to do all that stuff. You can integrate all that here. You have your tools. Where this you don't have to worry about that. So you could clear cache if you're having issues with the website. Role manager, if you have a person that you want to come in and do your updates for you, you can do it here. And then all this is just basic stuff. We'll go over more of that in a second. You don't need to know that now. This is just an overview of what is the back end of Elementor. Posts would be all your posts that you want to make for SEO rich content. I'll show you a prime example here. If I go to EC details and I click on dashboard and I go to post, I have post here tied to SEO content, introducing Fireball. Like I have a lot of SEO content. I was tagging like cars, or I was tagging a bunch of stuff on my site for SEO content that drives people to my site. So when they look up how to clean your Tesla, I have a form that shows me on that respect. And then pages is where you're going to live. So right now on here, what I want you to do is we're doing setup. Remember, we're setting this up. Hit all this, hit move the trash, apply. And then we're going to do a blink install here. I want you to create a couple pages. You're going to create a home page. And this is where it's going to be our home page here. Hit publish. Publish means you're saving it. Hit publish again. It'll do that. Go back using the button here. You're going to click and create another page. And we're going to create ceramic coating. And you'll build these other pages yourself, but you know what you need to build, and so on and so forth. And create whatever page you got. If one, for example, ceramic coating, and say I want another page where I'm going to have like exterior and interior paint correction, whatever. Create all your pages up front in this section, and then come back. So once you're done here, you have all your pages. You're going to need that in a second. We're going to come back to that. Comments, usually you get trolled. If you do a blog post, you'll get trolled, which would cause comments to come in. That could actually mess your site up because it could be malware. Always put them to spam. And then this is our theme. Hello. We're going to come back to that in a second. Appearance is where you have all your themes. We're using this theme. If you ever want to switch a theme, you can go to add themes. You can either upload your own theme or you can search here. A couple themes that I tell you is real good is Astra. It's a pay theme. You have to pay for it. It's a very, very, very well done theme. Hello is a great theme that's built on Elementor. Ocean WP is another one I suggest people who are starting off to get. Those are real good themes. And then what you want to do is if you click on here and you install, it will install it for you on your instance. And then you can activate it if you want or leave it there. If you activate it, that means you are now working on that theme. This theme, Hello, goes away. And my suggestion is use Hello because I'm going to show you how to use that. And then you have designs, customization, blah, 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 blah. For some reason, when I've done WordPress development, I've wrote a lot of code for it. The only ones I worry about is customization. In my respect, I go to customization, site ID. This is what you want to give your title of your site. You want to upload your logo. You want to upload a tagline. So I'm going to put fake detailer. Fake detailers. It says, where we learn to detail because we suck. Whatever your tagline is going to be, site icon is going to be an icon that you use on your site. I'm just going to pick one here and I'm going to load that here. And this is what you'll see in the corner. You see these right here? That's a site icon. Make sure you have your own. Usually use your logo. I'm just showing you that you upload it. Select. And I'm going to move my face here, crop image, and then that's what they see at the toolbar here. When you select the logo, make sure your logo is uploaded. You could just drag and drop. For now, I'm not going to worry about these. We'll get there in a sec. I mean, we're done. And then you hit publish. What that does is update that site identity for you. Then hit the back button or the X to go back. And then menus. So this is what I wanted you to get rolling for, okay? We have create a menu. We're going to call this main menu. We're doing basic setup here. We're going to create the menu. In the menu itself, you're going to click on exterior, homepage, this here, and add to menu. On this, what it does is creates the top bar, okay? The home pages are pages tied to your site. For this one, though, I'm just going to call this home. and I want this to be my first page. The rest you could keep it as you want or update it to like exterior details, etc. If you intend to put everything under here, you can move this over and this now becomes a mega menu. Did you see how I did that? But I just keep it like that just for now. Hit save menu, always hit your work, hit save. And then we're gonna go to users. You can add users to your site here. Tools, you can import site health, etc. Settings is general. Generally, this is where you will also put your site details. Big detailer, where you learn to suck. We did 2 places here, so that's kind of redundant. And this is your URL. Now let's get rolling to setting up. The next part of this project is setting up the theme. So there's a step here that I want to walk you through. And again, you can stop, come back, watch this. And this is the step. When we're doing the setup for the theme, there's a couple things that's kind of an annoyance. If you go to settings here, you're going to see a couple of these things. And unless you know what you're doing, you're going to get annoyed and confused. We have what's called meta tags. You could disable that. You could disable this, skip links, structure layout. I always hide the page title, and I'll tell you what that means in a second when you don't do that. The page title shows on the page when we're trying to develop it, and it gets in the way. If I open up a site here and I go to eddiecologne.com, this is the page title that we're trying to hide. Okay, this is a site I built just playing around. And then I am going to disable. Don't disable this. Keep that alive. CSS, and that's it. Once you do that, you're good to go. And then we are going to get started on the theme builder. Now, 2 things that we have to do right away in order for this to work is we're going to set up a header. So what you do is you go to header on the right hand side. You're going to click on new. And what new is going to do is going to open up this bad boy here. It's going to give you a bunch of headers. A header would be your links or your link structure. They call it information architecture. If you want to nerd out, just pick one you like. I mean, you could view it. You could generate variants. Like I'm going to go real basic here, and I'm going to insert this one. I'm going to hit apply. It's going to pull this up here, and your logo is whatever you want your logo to be. So if you have a logo, great. If not, let me see if I could steal my EC Details logo somewhere. One sec. If you have a logo, great. If not, let me make one up here. So we have it. And then we'll go from there. One sec. So insert your logo. And I should have had this ready, and I apologize. I wasn't planning. Weird, huh? I'm going to teach you guys to do something I can't even do myself. So get a logo here. I'm going to try to find one that's very easy. The other things you're going to need is, okay, boom. I'm going to grab this, and I'm going to drop that here, and I'm going to create my logo. And this is my logo here. Hit select, and then hit save changes. If you should see the changes, take note right away. If not, you just hit back, hit X here, and you'll see the I love detailers. Now to style this, to make this logo better or bigger, is you want to click on the actual blocks. These are all blocks. Remember, we created that menu that shows up here. So now you have a living, breathing menu. What you want to do is take this, go to styles, and then you could just add some height to the actual I love my detailers. You can add the width, you can add the height, make your logo as big as you want it to be on your page. If you want to change the color of the whole menu here, you could go to advanced. You could go here and you could add colors to the block. So how this works, and this is gonna, we'll get into what this means in a second, what a block is in a second. And then you move this box, so you're gonna need it. This one here, we're gonna do it. Remember, our goal is to get more listings here. So I'm gonna actually change the name to this button here. By clicking here, you have a few things. You can see the button typography. One second. Hit that. Change contact us to request quote, and we're just setting up the footer and the header that we have to set up. And then right here, you just put we'll keep that blank for now. We'll have to come back because we're going to create that. And then you hit publish. Publish is going to open up this conditional box here. What you want to do is add condition. You want to include to entire site. And then once you do that, it's going to say save and close. That is now published. Now what you could do is you could go back to the site editor and go to footer, because now we're going to create a footer. So we're going to go over the design of websites, but if you think of what I'm trying to build here with you to get it done, it would be this part and then the footer part. Footer is where other data lives, right? So that's what we're building together, and we're doing that just to get that out of the way, because you only have to build that once and then you use it once. So you add new. The cool thing about Elementor is it has built-in footers. So I'm going to pick one that makes sense for me. This looks kind of cool. You could have a robust footer. You can have a basic footer. You can have a footer that looks like insane. They call it a mega footer. I like plain Jane footers, bro. I don't know why, but you can do whatever you want. Whatever you want your design to be, you can do that here. And the cool thing about this is I will go here, and I don't want to see that container. All right. So you see these parts right here on the left side. This is real good to see it. So if you're not a visual person, you like more mechanical, you could do it. You could actually also take this here and you could edit here and then bring it up. So edit all this to match what you want. I'm going to put my logo here for the love of details or whatever. Love your detailer. I'm going to change the color of my background here in my container footer. I'm going to change the color. Where the heck did my background go? Change it to white. And I'm going to change the text here. If you just follow along, you'll see what I'm talking about when I do this. I'm going to text color is going to be black. And then if the easy thing to do is if you go here and you go to copy and you click on this, you can hit paste styles. So that way you don't have to do it for everything. All right. And then you just fix this to add it. Now, if you're like, Eddie, but I don't like this whole thing. If you go to this footer thing right here, you can actually also change the color. Like that. But maybe I make it black. I don't know. All right. And then just hit publish. Add a conditional for the whole site. Hit save and close. So now when we build sites, your footer and your header's done. So now we finished setting up our theme. So the theme is set up. Now we're ready to build pages. And that's going to take me to the next topic of web design. When you're looking at web design, it's good to mimic, not good to copy one for one. So never steal copy from another site. You're infringing on their intellectual property. It kind of gets you in trouble. But if you see something like this, like Fred made this for me, the best car detailing services, Pocatello, you can say the best car detailing services in your state, but always change this to tie back to you, right? There's a couple people that I really love how they build stuff, and I want to shout them out. So Detailer's Roadmap, Chris is a stud. He builds sites that are very easy to use, very easy to read, very easy to digest, and it makes it for learning some things. So first of all, do some research. Look at what you want your site to be, right? So if you see this site looks basic, but he does a lot of things well. And this is what we're going to go over in this part of the lesson is always have a call to action. Give me a reason why to click on it. Always have your own photos. Do not use stock photos. They're trash. Always have a call to action and a phone number on top, right? Always have your logo prominent. Then you do here, you have words. These words are what Google's going to scrape. So do you see how he has Decor and Atlantic, GA's top sources for a PPF? Do this. And then he has another call to action. So then you put your another photo here and a bunch of words. Then you tie your words and do backlinks. And you see what I'm talking about here is this clicks to another page on his site. Does that make sense? It's always good to have rich content with links that point somewhere and another call to action. And then he has a separation of his services, top tier his logo again, and these are all call to actions, meaning they're clickable, meaning you could just click on them, right? So get some ideas from the best people in the business. And Details Roadmap is that you can look at other people's site and just gather ideas and then put them down on paper or do what I'm about to show you. When we're thinking about web design, there's a few things that you have to understand, right? So you don't get confused. Is you're gonna have container. So this box right here could have this box, and this box could be a container inside of a container. And you're like, Eddie, I don't get what you're saying. What I'm trying to teach you is you can have many things inside of a container. So when we're doing web development, we have an image, which is a background image. That's a container. You have an H1 ref, which you only want to use one for the homepage. So don't use H2 or H1 all over the homepage because then it'll be bad SEO. You have H3, and then you have some text, call to action. Then you have more words and cards, but this is another section right here. Then this is another section with another call to action. This is another section. So when you're doing your site, right, when you're mocking up your website, you can even draw this out on paper. You could take your time and say, okay, well, I'm going to have a header, and then you right, or a menu, and just say, well, I want my logo to be on this side. So then you draw a box here, color it in. That's your logo. And then you're going to, okay, what do I want my menu to be? So what I saw what Chris is doing here for this tint shop, but what is he doing for detailing? So ceramic coatings, detailing. He has a lot of pages here. You don't need this many pages starting out, but he has a gallery of his own photos, reviews. So then you decide what you want for your kind of page, and you're going to add that here. And then you decide here. So now I know I want a home page. I want ceramic coatings, right? I want detailing, whatever. And then you're going to build this out to be easy for you to read, easy for you to understand, but also so you have a hierarchy of your decision making for your site. So this is my header. Now you're going to decide, okay, what do I want? Well, I want a hero. This is what this is called. And I just want this to have title, subtitle, call to action. Well, some people might just want to get the call to action right away. So then maybe on your header or your menu bar, you make a call to action to the right, which I would suggest here, which would be to request a form. And then now I have one call to action. I have two call to actions. That means a call to action tells me that I'm going to do something. When I click on this site, something happens. And then say I go back to one of his other sites. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm taking ideas from all this. Maybe I don't steal the way he looks here, but I really like how he did this. He got right to the point. Our services call. Okay, what's our services? Paint protection, ceramic coating. So maybe now I know that on my home page here that we're building together, we're going to have maybe I have a card. Maybe I have what he did that made sense. And I have ceramic coating, have this. Let me make that here. And I make it fun. Maybe I make this big and I want this to be like, oh, I am the ceramic coating detailing exterior, and I put services. Right? Build your site how you want. They're building blocks, right? Just don't make them confusing that you don't understand. Services we offer. Okay, what other sections did I see that he did well? Well, I will look around. Okay, so not only did he give me services that he offer, he gave me some other stuff here. Another call to action, another call to action, another call to action, another call to action. Like, okay, so then I would take a couple parts from this and add it to my site. And again, you're taking ideas from someone who's brilliant here. And we get to the point of your business where you feel like I don't want to build the site anymore, then that's when you call that man and he'll do a good job for you like he did for Jamie. It's pretty intense, right? So you go here and then you're going to build. Well, not for me, I keep my site pretty basic. If you look at AC Details, I just took ideas from everybody, made it my own. I have a request to quote. I have request to quote. I have a call to action, I have call me now. I have a few more. I have a call to action. So this is how you will build it. And it makes it so it's very easy for your users to go in and do something. And then when I go to my homepage here, another one, book online, another one, call. So always have something when the user comes in. basics of web design, right? Make it clean, efficient, easy, call to action. That's it. So when you're building your site, take some time to draw it out on paper, take some time to put the layout how you want it. And remember, everything is a block, a building block. Okay. We're going to go back to, let me close these windows. We finished Jobber. You already did that. Remember, links in the description below. No credit card needed. You'll need that to follow along. If you don't want to use that, use whatever you want to use. I use Jobber in my business. We're gonna add this form to my site, and then we have that done. We need inspiration. We went over inspiration. We went over the setup. We created the WordPress site. You set up the backend stuff for it. Now let's get into nitty gritty of creating it. So pages, right? Home pages. If you hit edit here, there's a couple. Well, let's go back. There's a couple plugins you're gonna need for SEO. So go to settings. Go to plugins, and you have a couple options. I would keep all these here. Security optimization, that is from SiteGround. SiteGround Central speed optimization. That makes it so it speeds up when people are using your site. You'll want to download the last part, either Yoast SEO. I'm not an SEO guru. I only know parts of it, but you'll need some type of Yoast or Rank Math. I use Rank Math. I use Yoast, depending on the day. So use whichever one you want and install it. For now, we'll probably just go here and just use it. And what this does, it adds SEO to every page. So when we build it, we'll have a title, etc., whatever. So go here, start SEO, continue, site representation, organization, fake detailers. Follow the whole prompts here and get that done, and then you're done. Once that's finished, we're ready to get started. So now we're gonna go to pages, and then you'll see all these pages. You see all the red here that tells you that we added our plugin for the SEO. When it's green, that means it's real good. When it's yellow, that means it's okay. You'll see that hello theme added this. Just leave that there for now. Don't stress out. Hit edit. When you get to this part of it, this is what I was telling you. Yoast is here. It'll tell you what keywords you want to tackle. So I would put like whatever you're going to do at your top of your page. So if it's Pocatello, best details in Pocatello, these are basic, right? You want to make sure that all these words are inside of your project. So you'll do that at the end of that. Hit edit with Elementor. It's going to open up Elementor for you. And then we're going to get started. Remember, we built roadblocks already. These two already exist. Okay. What we have in the middle of here, and this is so cool about Elementor, is it takes the guesswork out of it for you, so you don't have to stress out about it. And then you just start building. So for me, I don't do Flexbox. It's a little more confusing, a little more advanced. When you get better, you can do that. I do grid. But for this project, what I want you to do is click on this folder. I want you to go to call to action. We have a few things that this does extremely well. And this is why I love Elementor. Like, you can create your own custom one. You can play around when you get better. But these call to actions is what I'm looking for. And I want to insert a header into my project with my image, with a car that I'm going to put in the background, etc. I'm going to put here, like, this is how you would update it. You'll put Pocatello, best detailing, or best detailing Pocatello, or best detailing in Omaha or in Chicago, Illinois, right? That's my H1. You're not going to use another H1 on the site. This is going to be my call to action. This one's going to be request a quote. Now, if you look at what we looked at on these pages, it's pretty freaking simple. That's it. That's it. You just change your color. We just did that. Look, 2 seconds. Now, when you want to update the photos, you go to style here. You'll see that this button is yellow. I hate yellow. I think yellow is grotesque, especially for a site. Maybe I make that pink, right? I want my color scheme to be red. So you just change it to red. Oh, that's like a little magenta. You add it. When that hovering effect that you see here, if you just go to hover, I now have that here. I want that to be black, and I want my words to be white. So when it hovers, boom, there you go. That's it. I can add here, and then, like, you look at here, bringing out the best in your ride, maximize paint enhancements. You have, don't steal their stuff, man. Just put it through AI or whatever you do. Um, but just, you want to tag your city and state. Always have some open so you can see it. And I go, uh, experience that exceeds the area. I don't know. This is cocky. I would not do this, but I'm just telling you, make it yours, bro. But don't steal everybody's stuff because it gets pretty disgusting and people get annoyed. Now, when you want to switch this picture, remember everything's in a container here. So you have the way of looking at it on a mobile device, tablet. You see that looks good here. So always test that as well. And then when you click on this image, it's going to go to styles. Let me see here. You see this call to action right here on the right hand side? If you can't find it, click on the structure. Then you go to styles. You go to this image. And now I'm going to take an image of, like, let me get an image of a car that I did. We get an image of a car that I did. And then we'll just use that. Always use real images. Do not use this fake crap. Do not use AI crap. People want to see your real work that you did, etc. They want to see that, and they want to see you do it and perform the extra work and perform the before and afters. Get all that. You want to get before and afters. You want to get. You want to make it a great experience for your user or your customer to come in and see what you've done. Does that make sense? So I'm gonna find something here. What am I looking at? I need to find a photo. Sorry, guys. So start taking the time to do your photos for your thing here. All right. I'm going to bring that here to Jamie on that mug. And then say this right here is hard to see. What you're going to do is it offers a feature where it says background overlay. You do this background overlay. You hit classic. You hit color. And I want my background overlay to be black. And then what you'll get is a percentage. So you can make it darker, lighter, however you want, just so it's legible. I don't like this color in yellow, so I'm going to change that to white. And then there we go. Don't leave. And then anytime you're doing your work, make sure to always publish and save. And now we're off to the races. So we got a header, we got our thing here. It's pretty dope. Now we're going to create another section. You can either create the grid or, again, use what they have here, and then you could call another call to action or just click around to see what they have and just leverage it and change it. This would help you actually bring things to life. You have the hero image here. You could use that. I decided I should have probably used the hero. What a dummy. Oh, this is good. You could use this and insert it, and you just bring it to life, your stuff. So I have these 3 boxes. I don't know why it gave me 2. So I would just delete one, and then I would just change it. So I would do another image or put the background here. Go here. Make sure I go to my container. Make sure I go to styles. I'll delete the photo. I could change the color of the background too. So if I want a color, I can actually make it like gray. And then you can have some separation. You can make it black. You just play around with what you want. If you don't like that, just delete it. Or you could create your own where you have a grid. And let's do Flexbox here. I want to do something like this. So do you remember how we did my image over here? And I'll put a picture. And when you click on these boxes, right, on the left-hand side, it'll tell you your layout, but it'll also give you what you can add here. If you don't want, or you want to just do your layouts right away, you can do Flexbox, and I just want one full layout here. And I just say I want to add an image or a title. You could do that. And then if you want to make your image or title go into the center of the page, you just go to style, hit that. Oh, I should have used grid. Sorry. So you could keep adding sections and just build your sections out. And for me, I just want Flexbox. All right. So you just keep building your sections out. You click on this tab here, and on this tab allows you to add like text. So you can add all your words here. You can go back and you can keep adding. So I moved it here, but I could also, in the bottom of this box, I could come back and I could add like a header, and I could actually move this header above this text. So I have it as part of my thing. And right here, we could put like cars. You could type it here, or you could type it on this side. If you do it on this side, you could say Pocatello ceramic coating specialist. And then what you can do is when you add verbiage, Lorem Ipsum, say I add a whole bunch here. You can see it on this page. And then I want to add like one image here and one more image here. You just drag it over and you do it. So you could click on this bad boy and I could update, hit that here. I could go back in, hit another image. I'm only making a fake site to show you how to do it. And so say on my words, I want to click on a link to another site. I could go here and then I could add a link and I could add this and I could add exterior like that. Now it's linked. So when someone clicks on this, it's going to take them to the exterior page that I have up here. And then you just keep building your roadblocks until you're done. And then when you're done, you could keep doing that. You can keep adding sections if it's easier for you to add a section. You could do full pages if you're looking for a full page layout. Yeah, you have a bunch of options. For me, if that was easier, I would just look at the call to actions, the benefits. I would look at like this would be great. This would be a great section to have because you can actually make it work for you. Meaning, if I delete this section here, I could come back here and now these just become my images. So this is what I would look like. I could change my color. I could go here. This is great. So always play around with it to build your site. And then always note that the container, if you click on this button here and you go to styles, you just change the image out to what you want. And it just makes it a beautiful thing. See? And then you can add this and say this image is too colorful, but then you're like, oh man, what am I going to do? If you go to the container here and you go to overlay, you just make sure you add your color and then you can make it dark. And then you could just add like ceramic coatings, right? Play around with it, make it yours. This is so simple, guys. This is the easiest thing in the world. Now, what I'm going to do differently here is I'm going to come back, click on this here, and then I'm going to add, what's this? Sorry, I was looking at the site. Yeah, it's coming along. It looks okay. It looks like a kid made it, but if you just change your images, make it your images, add your words, you see how we're coming together. And then add. So anytime you need to add a block and you don't see it up here, you click the add button. And I'm going to add a button at the bottom of this right here. And I don't want that to go here. I want it to go at the bottom. And I want that button to be in the middle. And I'm going to position that in the middle here. I also like want it to say, get a quote or my phone number, right? 208 or call now or request a quote. Everything is going to have a call to action. And then the cool thing about this is the quote will just use the link that we built for Jobber. So once you're done here, you can also play around with the typography. You can make it bigger. It makes the size of the quote bigger. Also play with the color of the button here. If you go down, you could say background color. I want it to be white, and I want my text to be black. There you go. And I'm not sure why that said cool. You said cool. And then you just keep building your sections over and over until you have your homepage done. My thought to you is, when you look at Chris's work, is do not go too overboard. You have one section here, which is great, and then you have 4 cards. So let's build this section here so you see how we do that. And that would be, what does he have here? He has like a title. Cool. So this would be another section, and this one would be kind of like this. I would build it like that, and I would go here and I would duplicate this, and then I would have another section. So you remember, we're building blocks here. I will have one more section, and this section is going to be like just for the words, and I'll probably do it like this. And then this section, I am going to put a header, and then what did he have? So you see he had a header. You could put a logo up there. So I could go back here. If I click on this, I could actually add a logo if I want, but I probably won't do that. Yeah. And then you could add your images, and this would be call to action. So if you click on the left-hand side, you see call to actions here. All these would be images that you would add, and then I could just copy and paste and then move them over. And then all you would do is, what did I do here? Oh. And then you add, oh, I know what I did wrong. You add this, and then I'll add it here. So now you have 4, and then you can move these over like that. Just keep them the same size. And what you'll do is go in and add your pictures. Right here, we had services we offer. And I'll move that over to the middle. And then what you want to do is, I would always put that bold. And then this whole container here, if you click here, you can actually style it, and you could put a color. Oh, I don't know what I just did there. You can add a color or image, and this one you could just add gray. So you could color this all you want, okay? All I'm telling you is that this is your offering here. And then if your container needs spacing, you go to advanced, and you're going to add. So padding is what happens in the container up and down. And I would just unlink it here and add padding to the top to give it some separation from that other thing. And then I would add your photos of your card detailing business here, and then put ceramic coating and all that. So this is that section that you built. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, all it is building sections to come together to build a site. Once you're done, you hit publish. And then if we go to fakedetailers.com, we probably won't see the site because it's not showing it as a home yet. So do you see this? That means that my home page is not set. So I'm going to hit customize on this. I'm going to go to home page settings. I'm going to use a static page, go to home page, and then you'll see the work I just did. Hit publish. So that way now you can see your home page. And all it is putting it together like that. Simple. Look, this is me playing around, and we're building a site together. Okay. So this is all you have to do. Now we're going to do our final step here. And then that is connecting Jobber to your site. So build your home page, build your ceramic coating page. When you go to exterior, once this page is built, this will be filled. Once your ceramic coatings page is built, that will be filled. And you're set to go. Even on mobile device, if you hit inspection here, and I go to responsive and just go to like iPhone 4, even on this, it looks good. So you don't like this, you can make it smaller. But what I'm telling you is, this is super easy tool, and it didn't cost you a lot to get started. and it's fun. Take an hour of your day to do it. Your site's gonna look crisp. Use your own photos. Don't, gather ideas from other people doing it well, and go from there. So go back to your website here. If you click here and exit to WordPress, this will take you back to WordPress. You're gonna have to click this again. And what we're gonna do is, if you go to settings and you go to Jobber, you want to connect your Jobber. So I'm gonna connect mine. I'm connected. So I'm going to go open the block and select the form that you want to enable request booking. So to remove you're going to go here, you're going to go post. You could do two things. I could go to a page or a post. Let's go create a page. And then all pages, I am going to create add page. And this one is going to be request form. And then I'm going to add a block here. And then you can type in Jobber, and then you grab this, and you just drag it over. That's it. That's your request form. So if you have a request form, or if you have so on and so forth, you hit publish. Now, when you hit publish, it's going to open this up here, and you copy this link on the right-hand side. You're going to come back. You're going to go to your home page. You're going to hit edit again. You're going to edit with Elementor. And every single button that we created, we're going to take care of. So this one, you're going to hit here. It's going to take you to this. You hit Control V, hit publish. You're going to click on this page now. When that's done, you hit here. You put it in the link, hit publish. Everywhere where it says request a form, you can even hit request. If you know if you know your page name, you can hit request here, or I think you could hit dynamic. Oh, you can add to new window. You go to, anyway, I just typed the link, but you do it either one, and then you hit publish. So now if I go to fakedetail.com, if I go to my request form, it's always going to generate it for my user. It's always going to gather my data. It's always going to send it to me. It's beautiful. And it does it so easy on every single page. So that's it. That's the simple way of integrating your CRM, creating your site. I walked you through the basics because I want you to dive in and learn. If you saw how easy this was, all it is taking great ideas from other people, making them your own, and bringing them together. Again, everything I use is in the links in the description below. If you click on the Jobber, it's free for I think 3 months, and then you got to pay for it, but it's 20% off. The only things you're gonna have to pay for upfront, again, just to touch base, is your domain. It's actually also going to be your hosting, and then if you're gonna use Elementor Pro, you have to pay for that, which is $7 a month. And again, we were able to integrate everything on your system to build you a nice quality site. And my site here is built with Jobber. I mean, my site here is built with Elementor, and I can show you here. If I click on this, and I click on pages, and I click on, just say ceramic coatings, and I hit edit, and I hit edit with Elementor, everything is set to go. All right, so if you made it to the end of this course, that was a doozy. It was a lot of information to digest, but I promise you these are skills that you could take with you anywhere. You could build a website for a friend starting out detailing, make you extra cash. You could teach them how to do it. The goal here was to help you do it yourself, to get to the point where you grow your business, where you can hand it off to like Chris Giovanni's team at Details Roadmap, hire a Fred when you get big enough. But these are the basics, kind of intermediate techniques to bring it all together for you as a user. I want to appreciate everyone for watching. If you made it this far, thank you so much. It means a lot to me. If you'll consider hitting like, hitting subscribe, and hopefully I can bring more content like this for you in the future. And we're out.